We decided to do one thing different tonight. There are 3 PlayKuchas coming up tonight, but tonight we wanted to test out something new, a PlayKucha, right? PlayKucha, because instead of giving a PlayKucha 20 slides for 20 seconds, we're going to try to give, in about the same amount of time, in about 7 minutes, a rapid experience, a rapid little training in what this is, play with purpose, right? We say we're about play with purpose, but I want you to experience that for a second. Almost, I think everyone here has Post-it note pens and a paper that has circles on it. And most of you have clipboards or you have something to write on, right? If not, Julie and Wally there can hook you up, right? I need you to do something really quickly. Take that pen and the big Post-it note that you have. The things that you need to use right now is your pen and the big Post-it note. And I want you to find your neighbor, the person sitting next to you. And I want you to stare into their eyes. I'm serious. Find your neighbor, find someone near you to be your neighbor, and stare into their eyes. Yes?
El que sea.
Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, right? But it shouldn't be awkward either, right? So here's the instruction that I'm going to give you. Look away from your neighbor. You've gotten a good sense of what they look like, right? And this is what I want you to do. I want you to draw your neighbor on that big Post-it note that you have, and you have 30 seconds. Start right now. Go! Draw your neighbor. Draw your neighbor. Give us your masterpiece in 30 seconds.
Mírame a mí,
Do a drawing of your neighbor.
¿A quién tú estás dibujando?
It's your drawing. Do what you want, but make a drawing of your neighbor. Capture their essence, the magic in their eyes. You have 5 seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop! Now show it. Show it to your neighbor and show it to everyone else around you. Let's see them. Let's see them over here. Sorry. Let's see. All right. Okay, so that is actually what typically happens. A lot of laughing, huh? It's a lot of embarrassment, huh? And as soon as I said to draw, I heard a few people go, "Oh no," right? Like I was asking you to do something hard. And how many of you heard someone say when they showed their drawing to the person next to them, "Sorry, Petrol." We heard it, right? So every time this is done, and this has been done in all kind of places, and it was started by a professor at Stanford University. And everyone else has noticed that whenever you do this, people are embarrassed. And he says it proves a point about adulthood and creativity. We fear judgment. We fear the judgment of other adults around us. And we know this because at work we fear judgment when we have new ideas. And we're in social settings, we have a fear of saying things that may be kind of out of the norm and to break with the natural political status quo. And we fear this judgment from other people, and that's why we're uncomfortable when we're drawing and having to show these pictures, because we know that it's going to be judged by the other person, right? And it leads to this massive lack of creative confidence in adults. It starts to lead to self-censorship. It starts to mean that we stop saying the bold and crazy things. It means that we kind of create a conservative bias. We want to kind of just stay within what we think other people will accept, right? But kids aren't that way. If we did the same exercise with kids and we said, "Draw your neighbor," they'd actually be fairly serious. You wouldn't hear the giggling and laughing. They put themselves into that drawing, and whatever came out, when they show it to their partner, they show it with pride, because kids don't fear judgment until we put it in them. At some point, some teacher, some student is told to draw a flower, and they draw a flower that's not like one of the flowers you see in nature, and the teacher says, and they say it not meaning to be harmful, but they say, Mira, Elena, that's not like a rose. Why don't you make it like this? The leaves should be green, not purple, right? And we start to teach kids to have this self-censorship and they start to lose their creativity. The good thing is, though, you all have your creativity inside of you. I'm going to show you what I mean. You got a piece of paper. It has 30 circles on it. Break that out. Take a good look at that piece of paper, right? It's very, very simple. I'm going to ask you in a moment to go ahead and convert as many of those 30 circles into recognizable objects. So I'll give you an example, a smiley face. That's what you can turn a circle into. I'm going to give you 1 minute to start turning these circles, as many of them as you can, into recognizable objects. A ball, a smiley face, whatever you want, in 1 minute. But what I want is quantity. I want quantity, so you're going to have to go fast. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. Go ahead, start right now. 1 minute, go ahead. Convert the circles into objects. Got 40 seconds left. See what you can convert those into. And how many of them can you convert? Oh, some of you are working like a team. 2 people together? All right. Some people are working like literally together and other people divided the page in half. You got 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, stop! Hold your sheet up. Just so other people can see what you got, right? Go around, right? Hold those sheets up. Let's see what they look like, right? Alright, let's see them over here, right? Okay, so how many of you who work on your sheet by yourself, not compartiendo un sheet, how many do you have? Count up how many you have on your sheet. Everyone, even if you're working in a team. How many circles did you convert? Count them up. 11, 8, 11, 9, 6, 3, 30. Someone finished them all. Not you. Because someone knows the secret. How many of you felt you got stuck at some point? You suddenly hit a roadblock, you're like, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? What is the next circle supposed to be, right? We all tend to get that way, right? But let me tell you a little bit of a secret. First, let's find out something. How many of you took one idea, like a face, and you went smiley face, frowning face, confused face, right? How many of you extended one idea as far as you could? What was your theme?
It was smiley face, sad face.
So it was faces, right?
Like food plates.
Food plates, right? Chinese food, right? Chicken plate, right? Okay. Any other examples? Fruits, different fruits, right? So this is not bad. But as adults, sometimes we think everything has to be unique. We need to get, everything has to be completely unique. But you know what? Extending one idea is a form of creativity. Getting the most jugo de la naranja, right? Getting as much out of an idea is a very good thing. But as adults, we tend to if I kind of copy, I look kind of bad, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want to take best practices and evolve them. We want to keep them as they are, right? How many of you went for diversity of ideas? You have an amoeba and a plant, right? Yeah, right? That's not bad either. We're not saying that diversity and uniqueness isn't bad, right? But sometimes we tend to think there's right answers, right? There were no right answers. I was just looking for quantities. So it didn't matter if you put a dot on a circle and said it's an amoeba in a petri dish, it counts, right? You can go for it, right? Logos, counted. How many of you figured out that you could very quickly combine circles or draw outside the circle to turn the circle, you know, you put rays around it and it's the sun, right? But we tend to think that there's rules. And as adults, we create a lot of rules for ourselves. In business, we said, well, this can be done and this can't be done. Well, my boss said, you know, that social media is just a fad, and, well, we'll stick with that, right? I didn't say there was any rules except convert the circles into recognizable objects. So these things count. So I'm going to give you another chance. Look at your piece of paper. Now that I've told you that there are no rules, you can extend one idea as far as you're willing to take it, and you can go as wild as you want with the ideas. I'm going to give you 1 more minute to add to your circles. Ready, set, go. 1 minute. See how many extra circles you can add.
Connect 4.
Quantity is the game. Quantity over quality. Just get as many circles filled up as you can. Got 30 seconds left.
No, pero no puedo connect 4 aquí.
Claro, ahí. Ah, porque yo lo Connect 4.
Stop! How did that feel?
Great.
A little bit more fluid, right? But that's because you used the mind of a kindergarten. There were no rules, you could do whatever thing, and whatever you created was good. So, here's the lesson from it. We're talking about change tonight, and the people who are talking about change and a betterment for Puerto Rico. And if we really want change, we're going to need to be creative. And it means we're going to need to be bold and brave. Often, and we're going to have to explore many ideas, and we're going to have to be willing to be wrong, and sometimes we're going to have to be willing to do things that other people tell you not to do. I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and your parents tell you, no, go get a good job somewhere, right? And you break the mold and you decide to become an entrepreneur, right? Or you decide to start your own social enterprise, and most people tell you, oh, that'll never work, people here won't change. Well, what if they could? What if they would? Without creativity, change is never possible. But in our heads, we have the power to be creative. It's inbred in us. Someone told you to stop being creative. But as you can look at your pieces of paper right now, everyone here in the room has the ability to do it. And that's our PlayKucha. Gracias.